Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tolu and happy new year. So I thought it would be fun to start off the year with the video showing you the 4 signs that he's into you, and this will help you even if you just started dating. Now before we get into the video, I want you to get this free guide which details 4 ways to know he is the one for you, so you don't waste your time again. Make sure you grab the free guide. It will get you started on getting clarity around dating the right way, which is dating to marry. So let's get straight into the video. The first way you know that he is going to get married to you is he discusses marriage with you. Now this may seem very obvious, but it is a very critical point. Of course, this wouldn't be the same way on the second date as it will be the second month, the second year, if that happens to be your type of relationship dating. But it is important to establish that he is actively talking to you about marriage. He is interested in your plans for being, a partner in marriage. He's interested in what it looks like for you to commit down that line of intentional relationships, and he will communicate this. This isn't a process where you have to force it out of him. It will come up in conversation. He will naturally bring it up. He will be curious to know your plans when it comes to being a partner, your perspective on running a home as a couple and in a family setting. It will come up naturally as the relationship progresses, and this is something I like to emphasize with my wife in waiting sisters, more so with my dating to marry clients when we work together for 12 weeks to show you how to date with the purpose of marriage. Dating to marry is opening very soon for 2022. Make sure you check the details below to be one of the 5 women I work with closely through that process. The next way you know he wants to get married to you is what I like to call the 5 C's. This is something I teach in depth to my dating to marry clients, but I'll give you a quick rundown. He is clear, he's consistent, he communicates, there is a level of connection that is growing and progressive, and finally there's compromise. So he's clear about his desire for long-term commitment. He's consistent with being intentional about getting to know you towards the angle of long-term commitment. He's not flaky, he's not avoidant of conversations leading down that route. He's not constantly trying to change your mind about what it looks like to be an intentional couple headed towards the altar. He is consistent in being clear about his desire for marital commitment. He is also committed to you in a way that honors your values and your perspective as well as your vision. What this looks like in practice is he honors your perspective even though he doesn't necessarily agree with it. You are also able to fall in line with honoring his perspective when there are areas where both of you do not agree. And then there is a level of connection that is, as you know, spiritual, emotional, and physical, being the basic foundation. If you really want to get into this, I encourage you to get on the wait list for dating to marry, because this is where I really break this down with clients. But in summary, what you want to watch out for here is that the level of connection is progressive, it's growing. Physical attraction is growing, emotional attraction is growing, spiritual attraction is also growing. Spiritual attraction growing does not mean that you wouldn't come into conflict. It doesn't mean you won't lack peace sometimes. It doesn't even mean that you will share the same perspective on what a relationship with God looks like. But there is that foundation of faith. There is that foundation of agreement in terms of spiritual principles and application. It's just the way both of you will apply it will differ. Now again, I break this down a lot more in dating to marry. And finally, there is compromise. Compromise comes last. It should not come first in any relationship whatsoever. But if he is interested in you for the purpose of marriage, you could find yourself compromising on the timeline for marriage to happen. And this will look different depending on the relationship you're on. I've worked with clients through getting clarity around, okay, when is the right time to bring this up with him? How do I know he's intentional and he's serious even if he does bring it up? These are different elements of how compromise can play out, but it will definitely be very active in a relationship that is also headed towards the altar, because after marriage the tables flip just a bit, but very significantly, towards compromise, heading more so towards the front of how both of you communicate and really build an intentional foundation for a healthy marriage. Now, the next point I want to tell you about in knowing that he's serious about getting married to you is that he is transparent and he's vulnerable. There's a difference. Vulnerability means that I am sharing with you an area of my life or an area of myself that isn't particularly comfortable for me. Transparency means I'm telling you the truth. So when you are in a relationship that he is interested in being maritally committed to you, you will see he's transparent. Now, generally speaking, there is a difficulty with the male gender when it comes to understanding how to be transparent, but you will see that there is more alignment, more so when he is interested in taking the next step with you. He's forward, he's open, he's able to clearly communicate this desire for you, and he's also vulnerable in his desire on how that would look like for him and areas that he needs your support in. It's very critical at this point that you understand how to support him and vocalize this desire to him in a way that allows him to know that he can be safe opening up with you, and it wouldn't be used against him in a later conversation or conflict. Now, the next point I want to make is there's no procrastination, there's a lot of progress in the relationship. When it is headed down the altar, there's a lot of progress. Now, progress looks different for different people, which is why I'm very intentional with my dating to marry clients in working you through that 12-week process of understanding the foundation of your kind of relationship, how to be flexible in a way that honors the marriage God has called you to, and how to really plan a future with the right partner. Because when we're talking about being progressive, though all those three elements are going to be very much involved. So a progressive relationship could mean you don't get married within the first 6 months, but it could be within the first 12. But how that plays out will be very specific to you and your partner. A relationship that procrastinates is going to have the opposite effect. It's going to seem like you're constantly heading backwards even though you try and push forward. It's going to seem like you're going around the same mountain and not coming towards any point of resolution. So that is how you know this man is ready to commit to you maritally. Let me know in the comments if this has resonated with you so far and what point really stuck out to you. And make sure that you are on the wait list for Dating to Marry if you are interested in seeing how these different areas play out in your own personal relationship, like I have helped a number of other women accomplish in their dating lives. Now, he will also include you in his future plans. I like to make this a very particular point. When I say future plans, I don't want to keep it vague. Future plans could be next month, it could be next week, it could even be next year. It doesn't necessarily have a timeline. It's more about the intentionality about discussing it with you that you want to really pay attention to. He will be open to letting you know what he has planned in terms of his desires, his ambitions, his fears, his goals, his vision. All that will be involved in the conversation when you can see, and this is how you can see rather, that this man is interested in getting to know you for the purpose of marital commitment, even if he's just started dating with you. Now, this will play out differently at different stages of the relationship, and one of our sessions in Dating to Marry really goes into the dating stages and dating cycles. They're very different. Dating cycles, broadly speaking, means you keep going around the same mountain. Dating stages means you are progressing in a linear fashion towards the altar of marriage. So what you really want to focus on is how open is he about conversations when it comes to his future. This could include his family, his friendships, his finances, his business, his social life. It plays out in different ways, shapes, and forms, but it is very much a part of the process towards knowing that this man wants to settle down with you maritally. So let's go over this again. He discusses marriage with you. The 5 C's are involved, being clarity, communication, connection, consistency, and compromise. He discusses his future plans with you. He's transparent and vulnerable. He's progressive in the relationship, and he doesn't procrastinate. This is how you know that he is very invested in marital commitment with you. Now, if you want to get even deeper, I encourage you to join the Dating to Marry waitlist. I will only be opening up spots for 5 women to take you through the transformational process of attracting, dating, and knowing the right man for a godly marriage that is for you. Now, make sure that you leave a comment down below so I know how you've enjoyed this video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out these other videos. Until next time, bye.